We were talking offline. You're like, oh yeah, there's some SEO layups that are just like total freebies that anyone can do immediately for little to no money that boosts that findability. So do we want to maybe just rattle those off too at the end here?
Yeah. Yeah. So these are all kind of based on your Google business profile. I think at this juncture, most contractors have one of those and they own that asset. So these layups all rely, this is all based around your Google business profile, because this is like the key factor in ranking at the top in that little map pack. So what you should do, number one, your category. So there's a Google business profile category. Everybody chooses one. Sometimes we see contractors choose 5. They're like, oh, I'm a contractor, so I should choose electrician and subcontractor and general contractor.
Because they do a bunch of different services. They kind of can't help themselves. Like, I do so much. It's like, no, don't dilute it.
Absolutely. That's exactly the problem, is that it dilutes the effectiveness of your primary category. So check your categories on the back end. If you have more than, I would say 2, but if you have more than 4 or 5, like you got to cut a couple of them off. Like GC is so broad. I mean, are you really like out there, doing these giant government contracts for like $2.5 billion a year? I mean, do you want that? Like, what's your primary service? Like, what do you want to be found for? So you might be able to do that, but if you're an electrician, stick to electrician and, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, just narrow it down. So I would say 2 categories at max, maybe 3.
You might take pride as a business owner. You might take pride in your versatility and your large tool belt and your huge skill set, and you should. We're not knocking that. We're saying in the context of what makes it easy for Google to find you, just sort of dumping all these services is not a good idea. Absolutely. You just dilute your authority for your primary service.
Okay. So that's number 1. Check that. Number 2, simple layup is posting to your Google business profile every week. Like, I don't care if you're at a job site and you take a picture of material on the ground with your phone and upload it to your Google.
There's some wood,
business
some
profile.
nails.
Yeah. Look at nails on the ground. Got to pick those up. So obviously you want to be a little bit more poetic with it. But
sure.
Recently, I think everyone's seen that Google moved your editor for your Google business profile into Google itself, right? So now you can click to make edits and upload posts from there. Well, why would they do that? They are measuring your engagement, both you and your customers. Why would they make it so much easier for you to access? That's what we're looking at in 2023. So post frequently, post once or twice a week, and make sure you do it from a location where you want to continue working, because those images are geo-tagged and naturally. So, there's a way to do it if you create an image in Canva, but that's a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. Okay, so something else, this may sound super cheesy, but there's an FAQ on your Google business profile, and you can ask yourself a question and you can answer it yourself. So you don't have to log out and log in as another profile. So you can post a question and then you can also answer it. So make the question something, it can be really broad, like, do you do EV charger installation? And then you can answer that question yourself, as thoroughly as you can. And you can go through and do that for all your FAQs, because you have to think of, we've talked about how Google is God and Google is a massive narcissist. So Google is going to scrape its own products before it looks to your website or any other third-party website. So the more times you can make yourself an authority on your service in your location in as many different areas as possible before Google has to find that information somewhere else, the better off you are. You might have an FAQ on your website. Great. Put it on your Google business profile.
Right.
And then this is another one that I'm sad to share, because our competitors are not doing it, but we are. So this is what you got to do. On the back end of your Google business profile, there's an area for services, and naturally, home services, contractors, you fill this out, which is great. But you'll notice that it doesn't appear anywhere on your forward-facing Google business profile. That's only on the back end. It's still being read, so you should still do it. But products are forward facing on that Google search engine results page. So what you're going to want to do is create a product for every service that you provide and add them in reverse order of importance. So the first one you add should be your lowest priority. If you don't want to do repairs, shove repairs as the first product that you add to your profile. And then your most, your top priority, if it's, whatever it might be, if it's EV charger installation, make that the last product that you add to your Google business profile, because that's what's going to be forward facing, because then everything you add after that kind of pushes the products down.
Interesting. So you actually like upload it in reverse order, because then when it goes to the public facing, it displays it in the opposite order.
Yeah.
So it's just
it
opposite
displays
day,
the most
basically.
recently. Yeah. So it's like it displays the most recently added product.
I see. Okay.
And within that product, you can write like a 600-word description. So that's another opportunity for you to tell Google, you are the authority, you are the best electrician, you provide this service, and you can talk about where you provide the service. And if you do like repairs and installation for this thing, you have 600 words that Google is going to look at before it even jumps to your website for the exact same information. So that is, that's gold right there. And it takes some work, but it's well worth it, and we've seen it pay off more than a lot of other things that we've done for local SEO lately.
I love this kind of like hacky stuff that's just like easy to do and creates a result. Was there anything else on this sort of SEO layups list?
I mean, that's huge for local, and that's like the most important for home services. But I would say if you could only do like one other like massive like SEO thing, it's really your website speed and performance. So have your web developer, ask them, how fast is my website? Is there anything we can do? And just have them take it from there, because that it's part of Core Vitals, which is another Google thing, and Core Vitals is a ranking factor. So the faster the website, the better, because again, you got to think about those crawlers trying to understand what your site's about. But better yet, they're there to provide the best user experience for their searchers. So if they serve you up as number one, but then your website takes 8 seconds to load, that's a poor UX, and you're going to get pushed down, those rankings and penalized for having a slow site.
Okay, last question for you, Devin. Everyone right now is talking about ChatGPT in the context of contracting businesses like the ones we work with. What is a tool like this and all the competitors of it, which are going to come out? If you think this is the be-all, end-all, just wait. There's going to be a whole bunch of other things hitting the market that are similar. What use cases is this really, really good for a contractor? And then are there some that could absolutely screw you if you don't know what you're doing?
Yes, completely. So let's talk about how AI content writers, ChatGPT specifically, can really screw over a contractor or anybody. So if you think that ChatGPT can write your website content for you, and you're going to do it for free, and you're going to save all this money, you are sorely mistaken. I'm in an SEO mastermind group, and we have people that tested this. And what happened was the content from ChatGPT, some of it altered 50%, some of it not altered, some of it altered 20%. What we saw was that every single instance, those websites completely fell off of Google. They saw a 200% drop in traffic overnight. And half of those people in this test that we did got blacklisted from Google. So that is reason enough to not take a shortcut using ChatGPT or any AI content. Even though you can modify it and you can tweak it, you are going to be so sorry that you did that.
Because Google knows. Google can tell.
100% Google knows. Yep. And especially because you have to think whatever ChatGPT spits out for you. If you're thinking write me a page about residential roofing in Denver, how many other roofers are thinking the same thing, or how many other plumbers, or whatever the service? You're not original. You're not the first to do it. Everybody's wanting to take a shortcut now because content marketing is huge, but it takes a lot of time and it's an investment. But you will absolutely lose any ranking that you have. And worse than that is getting blacklisted. If you're page, position 10 now, you're going to get kicked to the back of the bus if they even index your website at all anymore.
Interesting.
So please Do not use it for content on your website.
What could it be good for?
Yeah, so this is where it can be kind of fun, and you can totally take advantage of it. Anything internal. So if you have been putting off writing SOPs, enter a query to ChatGPT and ask it, say, write me an SOP for, I don't know, some process, and it will spit out an SOP for you. Then you just got to make a couple quick edits that suit your business. And then there's another form, another, I guess, kind of type of AI where you can take this script and you can upload it into like this video AI producer, and it's going to read your content and turn it into a video for you. So now you have training videos and you don't have to do anything.
So yeah, you're right on about that. The SOP example is a great one. There's quite a heavy lift in writing those that most people don't want to do on a word processor. I love to write. It's not like I'm just like, but lots of people are just like, I don't want to spend 1 hour, let alone 5 hours or more doing the word crunching in Google Docs or Microsoft Word, whatever. You could use this tool to get the bulk of it done and then comb over it with your own human intelligence and say, this isn't exactly how we do it. This we change to this. And it's always so much easier to essentially edit something than go from blank canvas. And that's a really, really interesting use case for it, you think?
Absolutely. Because when you're, if you're trying to scale a business, it is a big time suck. And if you can have kind of a standard outline and then pass it off to, a production manager and say, can you tweak this? Because if you ask them to write the SOP from scratch, that goes to the back of their desk too. So this is going to help you scale without having to invest like a crazy amount of hours. And, it's just kind of an exciting tool. So that's a very safe way to really use this technology to your advantage.
Cool. Thank you. Listen, if you like that clip, you can watch the full episode by clicking here. If you're not yet subscribed, you probably should be, and you can do that by clicking right here.